I'm Alex McPhail. I've been a firefighter for 10 years, going into my 11th here.
My name's Jim Regenball, and I have retired after 33 years in the fire service.
As fire conditions start to escalate, we'll start getting more worried about preparedness and the wildfires that may arrive in the springtime. So a lot of that means, bringing our new folks up to speed on the tactics and strategies that we use, the techniques that we use to put out fire. Day to day during the summertime, we'll usually be working on what we can, continuing our training until a fire arrives, at which point we'll respond by helicopter or truck. We'll go out there with all of our gear and start surrounding the fire with a line that won't allow it to burn past, right? So that could be by removing the fuel, by digging it out, could be by using heavy equipment, it could be by applying water to the ground and separating the burning fuel from the future potential fuel. It's hard to say exactly what we're going to encounter in any given summer. The last few have been fairly busy for sure.
First thing is to thank him for what he's doing. It's incredible for what he's doing. However, this presumptive cancer has to be put in place. There's no excuse for it.
This is a good fire service. We do have a lot of experience. We have a lot of people that are working very hard to keep our community safe. We have a lot of people that care very deeply about what they do. And I just want to see that continue. And I don't want to see us lose people because they're afraid that they're not going to get the care they need in case that they get ill from this job.
There's no rebuttal. I have a feeling sometimes people always look at rebuttaling things instead of just doing things for the right reason.
Up here, our wildland firefighters are not trained for the urban environment. They do not interact with those types of fires up here.
People are moving into the woods, and so you've got structural and wildland firefighters working hand in hand where they never did before, which is so nice to see, that the respect and the camaraderie. So as much as it has gotten better that way, we still have a ways to go as far as policies go, legislation goes, and I think I'm not a politician. I don't understand everything that goes into it. However, we can do better.
Certainly don't wake up pain-free in the mornings after a decade of doing this job. You got to stretch out a little bit. The knees feel it, the back feels it, the neck. From the smoke and the soot and everything, you definitely feel a decrease in lung function as time goes on, especially after a big season or after a series of big fires. You can feel that it's a little harder to breathe. Running is a little more difficult. Walking up hills with the gear on, there's noticeable impacts to your body and your health for sure. This is my favorite job that I've ever worked. I love doing it. And I know that it comes with downsides to your health. I think that's part of why it's a difficult job, and that's something that a lot of people will accept to a degree, for sure, in the interest of public safety and public service. But as you start to get more situated in life and you start thinking about having a family, that begins to weigh on your mind pretty heavily. And think, am I going to be taken care of, or are they going to be taken care of if something happens to me, if I am diagnosed with cancer? We know that it's critical now more than ever to have a professionalized fire service. We know that the experience is critical. This isn't something you can learn in school, right? This is something that you learn by being on the ground and by doing. And to that end, having people that have years of experience is crucial. And if those people are beginning to question whether they're going to be taken care of in the event that something happens, then we're at risk of losing really valuable experience that we need to keep our communities safe. And my biggest priority as a wildland firefighter is keeping our communities safe. I want a healthy, well-functioning wildfire service.
And we have someone like Alex, we have 10 plus years of giving what he has given to the communities throughout all of Canada. And he still has many more years to give that. So to provide this presumption, and God willing, I hope no one ever comes down with cancer from wildland firefighting. but it has to be put in place, or we're going to lose amazing people like Alex. We're going to have people showing up to work, leaving their brain outside, just coming in for a paycheck and knowing they're being thanked in one way for what they do, but really, are they?